So, what is this future that we're going to be embracing, and how do we prepare to get there? Again, sanitation. It's going to be the word of the future, and it's going to be on everyone's lips. The first thing is be prepared to invest. Whether you're looking at electrostatic sprayers, whether you're looking at foggers. I mean, currently we're doing the research to decide to figure out what is the most effective equipment for the region, and we'll be sharing that. But the reality is be prepared to invest in sanitation, not only for your guest safety, but also for your staff safety and the safety of our community. So this is going to be the big ask. And don't be offended, but be prepared to defend your sanitation protocols to everybody at every time, constantly, because it really will be the reason and the thing that most people are asking. PPE, personal protective equipment, not an acronym we're accustomed to using in the Rupununi, certainly not with regard to tourism. We have our safety protocols, and I know that we've been told that throughout the region, those safety protocols are really high in terms of safety, but this is a new level of personal protective equipment. Expect your guests to arrive with masks and maybe other safety equipment, depending on where they came from and their own personal comfort zone. And be prepared to expect that. Be prepared also for the fact that your staff are going to need PPE, whether it's gloves for serving at a restaurant or masks, multiple masks to change safely during the day. We're going to be looking at a lot more equipment and PPE being part of the standard kit of tourism. Travel, oh gosh, who actually will be traveling? As you know, traditionally the Rupununi's market is international nature enthusiasts and bird lovers. So, but that requires air travel. Air travel, we can expect, is going to be more costly. It's already been signaled to us. It's also going to be a lot more time consuming. Depending on which country they're coming from, there may be quarantine required on return. So that's a sizable investment of people's time. So you're not going to get as many people traveling as easily or as readily as in the past, at least not in the first few years. The other thing that you might expect is a restriction to safe countries. So this is where I'm really proud of the Rupununi, because as you know, communities, tourism sites, and the regional administrative offices acted really early in the Rupununi, where from the first time that Patient Zero was announced in Georgetown, even though that's over 300 miles away, the Rupununi started lockdown. And so it's nearly been 2 months before our first case in the Rupununi. With an existing focus on small group nature-based experiences, the Rupununi is well placed to meet what may be some of our first exclusive travel market for the international market. But it's going to take a change in some of the aspects of the culture of Rupununi tourism. And I want to go into that for a little bit. So, farewell to handshakes. This is something that we've seen from the advent of the pandemic worldwide. No touch is going to be the norm. So for those who are accustomed to greeting your guests with a handshake or a generous hug, we're going to have to find new ways. My recommendation is, especially, let's look for our local greetings. Meramang, Okaimen, Kaimen Pugar, whatever it is, let's make it our own. Let's remember that we need to allow for social distancing. And let's still make sure that it is welcoming. Another thing that marks the Rupununi is our communal dining. You know, we love to all be gathered round in most locations, a single dining table, and sharing a meal together with our guests. Be prepared, especially in the beginning, for in-house dining. I know some of us may need to refit for this. So in-room dining, or focus more on your outdoor dining options, and of course individual dining options. Again, it's not that people don't want to spend time with you. It's just about, we need to start looking at social distancing even while we're eating, as a means of protecting both our guests and ourselves. Be prepared to offer single party options. I know it sounds strange, but there are going to be a handful of people out there who are willing to or rather will be looking for locations that can be only them and their family. Now remember, we've had families in lockdown. So they may be looking at traveling together where they can be a little bit more relaxed. They're not interacting with too many more outsiders. So be prepared and have some pricing options for that. Now, I'm not going to talk about domestic tourism in this particular presentation, but we are going to do a separate one on domestic tourism, because as many of us are aware, domestic tourism is probably going to be our first market, at least for the first few years, and there are going to be some changes that are going to need to happen there. But a reminder, so before you receive your very first guest, these are the 3 things you must be able to answer. Do you have systems in place to keep your guests safe? Do you have systems in place to keep your staff safe? And are there systems if somebody gets sick? These are the things you need to have. And again, we're strongly recommended. I know there may be pressure for people who want to get out of town, they want to come visit you, but unless you can answer these 3 questions, unless you've got something in place to address these 3 key areas, please don't open until it's safe to do so. And I know that we're headed into wet season now. For many of us, this is a downtime, this is a rebuild time, this is a, let's take a break from life, and that's okay. And I know some of us also need the mental break from dealing with the stress of the pandemic. It's okay to take time out, and definitely it's okay to take time to do the research to get it right before we reopen. And just remember, we're going to get through this together. We are Rupununi Strong. So with that, thank you very much, those who took the time to share this presentation with us. If you need to contact us, our information is on the screen.